Welcome back, Bison Nation. I'm Halee
And I'm Delaney Shute.
And today we'll be taking you through campus, local, and national news. Stick around.
The Fargo chapter of Feed My Starving Children is aiming to pack millions of meals for children around the world during Fargo Pack 2026. Students at NDSU have committed 500 volunteers for Thursday, February 26. The event will be held at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds.
Welcome Week team members are returning students who serve as resources and mentors for students who are making the transition to NDSU. All positions have different responsibilities with guiding new students during Welcome Week. Applications to be a group lead, event assistant, or a part of the moving crew for the fall of 2026 are due April 1st. Last week, we got to tour the FM Aerial Movement Center. Take a look. The FM Aerial and Movement Art Studio offers aerial silk and aerial hoop classes. It is a beginner-friendly series that builds strength, coordination, and confidence in the air. Each class focuses on progression, safety, and support. They offer both youth and adult classes, private lessons, and even group events.
Today I'm at the Fargo Moorhead Aerial and Movement Arts, and I'm here with
Yvette. Hi, I'm the owner and the founder, I guess.
And what inspired you to start the studio, and what does it mean to you personally?
I first started the studio because honestly it was either buy the studio or lose it forever, which sounds really dramatic. But the owner at the time, she was 65 and she wanted to not own the studio anymore. So it seemed like nobody else wanted it at the time. So I was like, I guess I could spend X amount of years doing this, and then we'll see, maybe I'll find like a partner or something else. But I just really didn't want to lose the community, and thought if nobody else wants it, maybe I can keep it going.
And then what is your approach to teaching beginners and creating a safe space and an exclusive environment?
Yes, so for creating community, I think it depends a lot on the people that come in. So I'm really nosy, I guess. So I really like to ask people like where they're from, like what they like to do, like what brought them to the area. I often ask like pronouns, and I'll ask questions like, what does friendship mean to you? So I guess just being really strange, I don't know. And then the people who like that end up sticking around, and I'll like connect people to other people. So I'll be like, you like this, and this other person also likes this. So I'll like pair people up into teams, which some people don't like, but it's good for everybody. So I'd say my approach to beginners is very like get to know people first and what their motivation is, and then just through aerial in particular, it's kind of hard. So everybody bonds through the experience of trying new things together and a little bit of pain, so that also.
And then what makes your studio unique, and how does it foster a community and contribute to local arts or fitness scenes?
Yes. Oh, what makes FM Aerial unique?
Yes.
What makes it unique is that I believe currently we're the only aerial studio. We have been, I say we, yes, we've been around for, I want to say it'll be 7 years. So it's been, how do I say it? Sad for me. People move away a lot. So I think what makes FM Aerial unique in particular is that we kind of see where people are at. I know that people don't stick around for a long time, but I try to make the space like welcoming for people to come in no matter how long they're here for, and really try to foster people's interests. So there's been like Run Club in the past. There's been different initiatives for like doing things together outside of the studio, and I believe that what makes the studio sparkle just a little bit more is like definitely the people that come. Like it's a very delicate ecosystem. So if you come to class, we are very curious to know who you are and like want to see if it's a good fit. And if it is, like it's about creating a safe space for people to feel like they can express themselves. And for the arts community in particular, like putting on different showcases and shows. And for the future, we really want to be able to partner more with like local organizations and local performers, and also finding like opportunities to either like pay the performers or find like a collective, like if there is money being fundraised, like how can that collectively help us all? So I guess very communal. The studio is very communal.
And then what is your vision for the future of the studio and aerial arts?
My future. My vision for the future is number one, to keep it going. Like, I just really wish that people stick around. Like, that people like it, they come and give it a try. I have had people have said, I've been interested in your studio for 3 years. And I'm like, why haven't you come? Like, where have you been? But I guess I really want to see more shows and like elaborate shows. So themes and community spaces. So creating like things where people come and dress up, and there's like a narrative to the shows versus more of a recital format, and kind of just making it bigger. So like bigger venues and inviting guest instructors and doing really cool things together.
Thank you. I am here with
Julia Beckerman. I'm an aerial instructor here at FM Aerial.
Ready. And then what drew you to become an aerial instructor, and what do you enjoy most about teaching?
So me and my sister first tried aerial silks at the Renaissance Festival in Minneapolis, and we loved it so much. And for years we were looking for places in Fargo that would let us take classes when we were younger. And then once we got to like 18 or so, we found FM Aerial. And so we signed up for classes and we started taking them here. So now I teach aerial silks. I mostly work with the kids' classes, and then my sister teaches Lyra.
How do you approach working with students of different skill levels?
It's really difficult, especially working with kids, because they tend to get distracted very easily and they want to do the same thing that everybody else is doing. So keeping them busy and keeping them entertained, and make sure that you are rewarding them for doing a good job and helping them teach each other and help them understand, and make sure that they're all doing something that challenges themselves but isn't going to be too hard for them.
And then what skill or personal growth do you hope your students gain through this?
So through teaching, I know that I personally gained a lot of knowledge on how to do certain skills and how the fabrics work and how they work with you and how things come together. So I hope that my students can try and figure that out as well and kind of come out with a better understanding of those things, and also just things that they can bring into their personal life, like wellness and flexibility, that sort of thing.
Thank you.
Interior design students from North Dakota State University are bringing their creativity to the Red River Valley Home and Garden Show, hosted by the Building Industry Association of the Red River Valley, at the Fargo Dome February 27th through March 1st. This year's assignment challenged students to design a multi-use flex room. One team created a moody Victorian-inspired sunroom to stand out from contemporary styles. Students say this project provided hands-on experience, industry mentorship, and a chance to showcase their work to the public.
A man was found dead inside a vehicle after a fire broke out Tuesday afternoon in North Fargo. According to authorities, emergency crews were dispatched to the scene in North Fargo area after reports of a vehicle engulfed in flames. When firefighters arrived, they extinguished the fire and discovered a deceased man inside the vehicle. Officials say there are no immediate signs of foul play, and the death does not appear to be suspicious at this time. However, investigators are working to determine exactly what led to the fire and the man's death.
President Trump delivered his State of the Union address on February 24th, speaking for an hour and 48 minutes. The chamber welcomed several honored guests, including members of the U.S. men's hockey team, fresh off their gold medal win at the Winter Games, service members, and Medal of Honor recipient E. Royce Williams, a 100-year-old Korean War veteran. During the address, President Trump highlighted what he described as his administration's accomplishments over the past year and set priorities for the year ahead. The Democratic response delivered by Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger offered sharp criticism of the administration's policies and future direction.
10 alleged members of a Minneapolis gang have been arrested and charged with a series of federal crimes, including possession of a machine gun and drug trafficking. U.S. Attorney Andy Langer announced the charges as a part of an ongoing federal crackdown on violent crime in Minnesota, emphasizing that federal resources remain focused on keeping communities safe. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara said investigations recovered cash, crack cocaine, methamphetamine, fentanyl, and 13 illegal firearms during search warrants. Leading up to the arrest, Officials say these arrests are part of the greater effort that has already resulted in more than 70 alleged gang members being charged over the past 2 years.
The United Nations Security Council met on February 24th as the Ukraine war enters its 5th year. Calls for an immediate, full, and unconditional ceasefire came from the Under-Secretary General on Tuesday as the council deliberated. 2025 was reported to be the deadliest year for Ukrainians since 2022. Ukrainian allies continue to stress the need for pressure on the Russian Federation to follow international laws and to begin taking productive steps towards peace.
Punch, the 6-month-old Japanese macaque, has gone viral for his attachment to a stuffed orangutan. Zookeepers say Punch was abandoned by his mother before being taken into care of the city zoo in Japan. Fans online have been drawn in by the monkey's story, inspiring the hashtag #HangInTherePunch. The plush is sold by IKEA, who has also got into the trend by releasing promotional content inspired by Punch and his stuffed friend. Up next is Sports with Jack and Weather with Henry.
My name is Becky Parker, and I'm a news anchor at WDAY-TV. I graduated from NDSU in 2010 with a degree in journalism, broadcasting, and mass communication technologies, and then I had an emphasis on broadcasting. Principles of broadcast production and advanced broadcast production. Those were favorites because they were the most relevant for career experience. You're calling people for interviews, you're writing an article. It doesn't just feel like an assignment, it's like actually doing it. I was the news director for the first full semester of the Bison Information Network. The BIN advisor here was very much invested in me to actually have a career in broadcasting. He helped me get my internship and my first job. The people in NDSU's Department of Communication are really interested and helpful in getting students the connections that they need in order to get a job beyond school.
No kid deserves to go hungry, but try as they might, not every family can afford to put food on the table every day. That's why the Great Plains Food Bank and their partner agencies work every day to bring food to our hungry neighbors. Every dollar donated can provide 4 meals for those in need. Go to greatplainsfoodbank.org and donate today so no kid in North Dakota ever has to go hungry.
Hello and welcome back to Bison Sports. I'm Jack Higgins. Bison basketball continues to stampede with men's and women's going 4-0 combined in the last week. Wednesday, the men traveled to Brookings, defeating SDSU 74-66. Damari Wheeler-Thomas led all players with 23 points, Noah Feddersen had 19, and Travion Carson added 12 rebounds. NDSU shot 48% for the game and only turned the ball over 5 times. They then hosted Kansas City on Saturday, where they dominated them 95-59 and clinched a share of the Summit League regular season title. Trayson Anderson finished with 20 points and 11 rebounds, leading the Bison. Damari Wheeler-Thomas scored 16 and Noah Feddersen added on 15. Andy Stefanowicz also had 13 points and a career-high 11 assists for a double-double. The Bison quickly jumped in front and by halftime held a 30-point lead. They travel to St. Thomas Thursday and host North Dakota Saturday. One Bison win or one St. Thomas loss locks up the title outright for the Bison. For the women, last Thursday they hosted St. Thomas, winning 73-67. Marissa Frost led the Bison with 18 points on 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Avery Coonan added 16 points and 7 rebounds, and Abby Kraswinski had 14 points and tied a season-best 8 rebounds. NDSU shot 50% from the field and 77% from the free throw line. Saturday, they traveled to South Dakota, beating them 81-68, and for the first time in program history, they clinched a share of the Summit League regular season title. Avery Coonan tied a career-high 30 points on 10 for 14 shooting, and grabbed 14 rebounds for her 18th double-double of the season. Molly Lenz added 11 points on 3 of 6 from the field, and Jocelyn Schiller had 11 on 4 of 6 from the field. After down by 2 at half, the Bison used a 9-2 run, opening a 48-40 lead. They carried the momentum into the fourth quarter, pushing their biggest lead to 78-58. They host South Dakota State in the Shack at 7 p.m. tonight, then host UND Saturday to close out the regular season. That's all I have for sports today. Here's Henry with the weather.
Hello NDSU, welcome back to another week of weather. I know it's been cold, and as always, I'm Henry Raddock. 20, -2 today, very cold, partly cloudy skies, so at least we're getting a little bit of sun in amidst all the winter weather. Precipitation 10, humidity 74, wind at 10 miles per hour. This weekend we are seeing a little bit of a false spring with 40s and 30s on Thursday and Friday. Saturday we are seeing 8 and -5, so we're not out of the woods quite yet. We are having some clouds. We are having a bit of sun, partly cloudy skies, with 12 and 2 as our lows for those days. Going into next week, 19, 37, and 37. So we are seeing, it's kind of like a big U. We're seeing a lot of colder temperatures on the weekend, but a lot of warmer temperatures throughout the week with a good amount of sun this weekend. 12, 18, and 15 for our lows. Going on to our national temperatures, as you can see here, a lot of kind of average warmer temperatures, kind of in that 50s range for a big center part of the country. While kind of the East Coast is getting a little mix of everything, and the West Coast is getting mostly that oranges and those yellows. Going into tonight, a lot of blues across the board, a lot of colder temperatures as we dip into tonight, with some places even reaching kind of that that kind of low 10s area, especially in Canada and over in the Rocky Mountains, with that kind of the Gulf of Mexico coast being kind of the warmer area of the country. Now going into tomorrow's temperatures, a lot warmer across kind of the central south, going into the Midwest central area. We're seeing a lot warmer temperatures with some places like Rapid City even hitting 59 degrees. It's not bad for February, if I do say so myself. Well, that is all I have this week for weather. I hope you guys have a nice warmer days coming up tomorrow and Friday, and hope you guys bundle up on that weekend because it's going to get some cold temperatures. I'm Henry. Roll Herd.
That's all we have for you guys this week at the Bison Information Network. As always, thank you for watching. I'm Jack Higgins, and remember, roll Herd.